welcome to the Tabletalkers. I'm Robert, I'll be hosting tonight, and hopefully we'll have a honking good time. So, we're going to be using assets from Ghostfire Gaming's Grim Hollow tonight, specifically 2 monsters from their monster manual, which I absolutely love. But, can all of you give me a honk real quick?
Honk.
Honk.
Honk. Ow.
So, we start off our lovely little setting here. Deep in the woods, outside of a remote town. Towards the middle of the night, a cloaked woman talking with a hag in the woods, conversing. The occasional honk from the forest whittling out.
Honk.
Honk. Honk.
The woman is sent away at some point. And a bell is rung. All of you know this bell. It's food.
Honk.
Heads down, duck, run. Heads down, duck, run.
As all of you get to the hag's shack in the woods, knowing that it is feasting time, the hag, with a bag there, throws out organs and body parts. Don't know where from, doesn't matter, but it's fresh food for all of you. The crooked smile on her face. Yes, feast up, my pretties. Tomorrow they come. The fools from the village, they're tired of us. They think they can get rid of us. Oh, but soon, and pretty much hand-feeding each one of you just an organ. Just giving it to, like, one of the 3 heads of the Cassandra.
Honk, honk, honk. Nuzzles the witch. Honk, 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 honk.
Most of them ranging in 3 to 4 height for a geese. Even bigger the teeth than normal for geese, which, if you've seen a goose, that's terrifying. Going down the line, there's a bit larger of a waddling noise coming from the wood. Trees brushing aside. The mama goose is here.
Honk.
Getting closer to 7 to 8 feet tall. This honkingly large goose with 7 heads. What looks to appear to have almost like, what are those little things called on turkey?
Waddles.
Like a giblet?
Like the little bits that come off like and go under the neck.
The giblet?
Yeah, they sort of have fleshy bits of those.
Ew.
As essentially the bag is opened on the floor and then just dumped out as a scattering of guts and people goo is unleashed for you to feast upon.
Nom 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 nom. Pecks him.
Ow.
So, tomorrow morning, be parched and ready, my pretties. They come for you because they think, oh, you'll be the delicious ones. After they come, and after you're well fed, I shall send you off to their village. You may do as you please, but make sure to stop by any nursing homes or the newborns to bring back some brothers and sisters for you. And slowly goes back into her shack to leave the feast to continue. Several hours pass as you get to have a goose rest.
Goose rest. Cuddle up to mother, children. We have big day tomorrow. Honk honk.
Honk, honk.
Hours go by until early morning.
I know, I kind of like morning light.
Morning light. Early morning light. I mean, it's morning light.
We will be morning soon.
No, you won't. They will, if they're alive.
Exactly.
But fog through the woods rolling in, restricting some vision about. Everyone, make a perception check.
Oh god, I went to play D&D and I didn't get my dice out.
You're not the only one.
I have dice that
Ow.
haven't been rolled.
That's
that I
like the
intend on
basics
cursing.
of game.
I know, right?
Well, with the advantage because multiple heads, natural 6 and natural 20.
Wait, what?
Oh,
We roll-
I can't compete with that.
What? We have
We
advantage?
have advantage on perception checks. Did you not read your stat block?
I guess this blue and white dice is okay.
It's
Hey,
great.
it's
I
ready.
am doing amazing right now. I rolled a 3 and a 3.
Hey,
Go 5.
I didn't do much better than you. I got a 7 and a 5. Oh god,
21.
2 threes as well.
What do we got for Mama Goose?
21.
21. Medina Goose?
Everyone's going to be named Goose, except for Max, who is Mama.
She's Mama Goose.
I'm Mama Goose.
Right.
I would like to be Knife Goose.
You can be Knife Goose. You can be Knife Goof if you. Knife Goose. If you
I
take
didn't
someone's
realize that was
knife.
a tongue twister setup.
I'm just
Sneak
bad
up
at
on you.
speaking.
You are the one-legged goose.
He's got a knife!
Why did I get attacked by the leg comment? What?
You have
Medina,
3
you good
heads,
there?
1 leg.
Your phone charge?
You're an abomination.
Alright, we'll just put him with Matt. We'll just put him with Matt and Dylan Goose.
Join
So-
the fun club.
So, 3 of the geese are sitting there with a dead rabbit that they are currently having a tug-of-war between. Meanwhile, Arik Goose, Mama Goose. There's the snapping of a branch in the woods.
2 of the heads look in that direction, the other head looks at Mammy.
Honk of doom.
Honk of doom.
Eyes widen, braces ears.
Do the other ones even get to choose if the honk of doom gets affected by them? Oh, you can choose to not affect your babies with the honk.
No babies affected unless they betray me.
Alright.
So maybe by the end of this.
Alright, well that's a 7.
Yes.
So, you hear us say, there's a couple snapping of branches that you hear, and then 3 of you having a tug-of-war. All of a sudden, just hear the most massive, thunderous honk that this village has ever heard. As the slight movement that was going on in the woods stops, all goes still. What would you like to do?
I don't know if we know where the fuck they are.
Person.
You have the general direction of them.
Okay, Head continues looking at the mother goose for order.
First. Oh.
So Mother
Take to
Goose
the trees.
kind of does a chargey thing. Okay, heads down, Goose charge.
Alright. Just the sound of, let's say, the sound of webbed feet smacking against the fresh mud on the ground.
A goose-ish variation of the raptor scream from Jurassic Park. Already sounds pretty damn chicken-like.
which, through the fog, men appear to hold their position. But then the shadow of a 7 to 8 foot tall, 7-headed goose appears out of the woods, at which point, Mama Goose, they have a very distinguished look of, they have fucked up. This was a terrible decision. As they start to run, we immediately have initiative.
What the fuck is with my rolls?
Is gonna natural one.
I feel like two of Arik Goose's head are focused on the prey. The third is still looking at Mama Goose.
I don't know what to do. Tell me what to do.
And then that third head slowly just bends around backwards to see that those three are still eating a squirrel. Rabbit. You can't tell what it is at this point, it's just meat.
At them.
I don't know, after that honk, I feel like we know something's going on.
After that honk, you know something's going on. But the three of you are running, with it still in one head each.
Touche.
Touche, yeah.
Can Mama
Alright.
Goose fly up into the sky?
You can if you want to. Hang on.
I wish to fly into the sky so my shadow can embrace them.
Let me get an initiative count on everyone here. Who's above 15? Arik said natural 1.
Puts me at 3.
Hold on.
It's just your dex mod.
Yeah, +3.
Okay.
Well,
I have
Mama Goose has
16.
+3. Mama Goose has +3.
16.
Oh, okay. She does.
Anyone above 15 that isn't Mama Goose.
Two.
Come on, guys.
Yeah.
I think Medina might have just exploded already.
My baby, no.
Oh wait, there's something. No, that's not in chat. Oh wait.
I was muted, damn it. Then 18.
Okay, there you are.
I forgot I was
wondering
muted.
where the god rolls were.
I thought you just died.
No, it's 18.
18. Okay.
You're taking initiative, and I appreciate that.
Is there
Okay,
any
what do we-
little legs?
Okay. Hang on. What do we got below? Okay. What do we got for Dylan and Matt?
13.
4.
You are a disgrace to Mama Goose. You are her least favorite.
Then
He fell on his
who
head.
starts to cry.
I'm not crying, fuck you. I know exactly what I'm doing now.
You have one leg. Do you want to lose that too?
You don't get to dictate how many legs I have.
I think that she
I
might.
think
I don't
she
know.
does,
You
because I
might.
think she's the she might be the reason why you only have one.
Alright, so who else is missing body parts for being fuckheads?
Nobody, just you. You just threw
biggest
something at me.
It's enough of it, you'll be fine.
But
Fine.
Medina, that honk, the Mother Goose's honk, you can smell the fear in the air of the foolish men who have dared to trespass. You can see where Mama Goose had started to run over there.
Immediately run that way.
You find
Is it
say, fly. If you fly, you can reach to one person's legs.
I'm gonna do that.
Just a low fly across the ground.
It's horrible. I gotta watch the
Does he have stubby legs?
so horrible.
No, this is a pretty average-sized human male. He's crouched down a bit, though, looking like he's about ready to flee in terror, though.
Bad lumps.
He may not get the chance to flee.
Bad luck.
Do you attack the farmer?
I will.
Attack the farmer.
What are you with?
Mama Goose is on dock next.
23, first attack.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, these are farmers. Yes.
I'm gonna bite his calf.
Roll damage. Roll
You're
damage.
gonna bite his cow? Why'd you do
Calf.
that?
F.
Yeah, his calf, his baby cow.
Just fuck that farmer.
I mean, when he gets there, probably.
Big damage.
How much?
6.
Okay, how do you want to end this person?
The other head bites his other half and then split him in two.
You have 8 strength. That's not a thing.
Okay.
You can, however.
Egon. Or Vashtor.
You are Cobra
Cobra
Chicken.
Yes, you are Cobra Chicken.
Biting his calf, making him trip, and then biting his throat.
All right. Medina Goose comes in, flies in low to the ground as a man is about to run. One of his heads bend down and just bite its ankle, ripping a chunk out at the Achilles, and he trips over and falls before he can actually get a thing, and then just flocking above onto his back, just a barrage of pecks and gnaws towards the throat. Would you like to attack at the villager next to him?
Oh, child.
Of course. Plus one hit.
Just what?
21.
Yes. Look, they got like 10 AC. They're literally just normal farmers. You guys can leave the normal. You can leave the normal rolls at home.
You know.
Sure, I wish I could leave my normal wolves at home.
You are at home.
5 damage.
5 damage. All right, this one barely lives. As you sit there and peck away. You have a third attack. Right.
At this point, I'm hanging onto his nose.
You've just jumped up and flown into the air and are just sitting there clawing and biting at this man.
No. You want to pop up the bottom again? Not that.
Alright. So, that's going to be 50. That's 50.
All right. As you sit there and continue the flurry, the man falls over. As you just peck away into his face, you get a couple of eyeballs out. Tasty. You sit there and peck away for a few moments until the screams stop. Mama Goose, your first. Say one of your children has secured 2 kills already.
Who's the biggest one?
Say flying up to the air like you had wanted to. You can see a few of them. You can see a few of them onto the ground. It looks like these 2 were just a few scouts potentially, but further back there appears to be a larger group of them, including one of them who appears a bit more properly armored.
Ah, can I get him?
You can.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Dive bombing in from the sky.
Tactically questionable.
Ah, yes, I said it for you guys. Just to read it out for. Just to read it out. I love some of the descriptions in this book. Nothing scares me more in the deep wood than the honking of the witch's goose. That's a quote from this book, and I love it. Speaking of the witch's goose, do you release a honk from your dive bomb?
No, because I want to save Honk. I want to kill this man.
Oh no, I just meant honking out of the air.
Oh yeah.
Mama Goose, as you dive bomb in to a more circled group of men that are a bit on edge, after hearing the honk and then screams of men ahead, there's a few people questioning if they should really be doing this. Maybe if they go back now, the witch won't seek retaliation with the armored man smacking them in the back of the head, telling them to be quiet. And then from the sky. What is your attack roll?
Oh, I got it. My attack roll is 25.
25. As he's telling the men to be quiet, honk, and then just for the briefest moment, the shadow overhead, and then just the slamming of a couple 100-pound giant bird with 7 heads crashing in. Just go ahead and roll all of your attacks.
Some of them fell and did the wrong thing. Hold on, I'm doing math. Hold on.
That's fine.
$55.
55, as you just jump onto this man, bounding him prone from it's just full weight, sinking him into the mud. He has that pesky metal stuff that doesn't taste good. As you sit there and you beak and just peck away, you just rip the helmet off, just tear it from its hinges, and just peck away at this man's skull until there's a cracking noise. As the other farmers just stand there terrified and start to flee, you manage to get a couple of them as well. Just pecking one in the back of the neck, breaking it instantly, and pecking someone's leg, preventing them from escape. You have one person just currently in one of your beaks.
Can I rip his head off?
You may.
Excellent. Rips it off, flings it back.
You throwing it at the other people?
Yes.
See, I'm pretty sure I've heard of this skill before. I've played Far Cry. This is called Brutalize.
Who thought our most brutal
Oh,
adventure?
I'm sorry,
to date?
not Far Cry. The Lord of the Rings game.
Who would think that our
Shadow.
most brutal and power trip adventure yet would be Goose time?
Honk honk.
Well, Mama Goose has spoken. The rest of you can hear honking from her distance, her direction. You can hear more. You can hear more screams. I'm pretty sure the crunching of bones. That's pretty appetizing. You guys really like marrow. Marrow's tasty, especially when you bring some bones back to the hag and she cooks it up for you. Delicious.
I am still and forever in the process of running, so I'll worry about this later.
You stopped for a second. You're just standing there next to Medina Goose's kills that he just killed 2 people. Each head looking a different direction. Dylan Goose, you can make it towards Mama Goose with a dash. A bit further with a flying dash.
Ooh. Eat the humans. Can I get to them? Wait, who's turn is it?
You can get there with a dash. This is the
Okay.
farther group. This is the group farther back. Unless you want to try and finish off the last person that's there with Medina Goose.
You know what?
Why not?
Those thoughts about the bone marrow made me hungry.
Can
Fly
eat the
forth
last
and attack.
Eat that one.
Fly forth and
What was that? I
fly
think the baby
forth
is
and attack.
I think the baby has declared it's time to eat.
Good
Okay.
feast.
Yeah. Okay. That's 19 on a die plus what? Punches? Yeah. So it's over, what, it's 19 plus however much?
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
How much is that plus? Plus 4, okay. Now that match.
And D6 plus 2.
Okay.
So, 8.
8. As you just fly straight into this man's throat.
Food.
Honk.
Medina Duck, the last prey there has fallen. Mama Duck.
Goose. Do you mean Goose?
Sorry, Goose. Yes. Ducks are cuddly.
Not you, you're the bastard.
Mama Goose.
I knew this was coming.
Yes.
One of the men pulls out with a pitchfork, attempts to poke into you. You take 4 damage. As a tiny bit of blood is drawn as he pokes into your feathered carapace.
How
In
rude.
progress.
You will pay for this.
It's barely a scratch into you,
I don't.
but it's an inconvenience. And after that poke, he feels the prongs go in a couple inches after he thrusted. And has the realization of, oh no. And pulls it out and tries to run. You may attack at him.
Can
Oh,
Baby Goose smell the smell? Mama Goose's blood?
Not at this distance. There's too much blood. There's too much blood of everyone else smothering it. Like that
20.
man that you just shoved your nose into. Yes. As he tries to run, you just grab him by the head.
I want to eat him.
Whole?
Can I?
Fuck it.
I wish to eat him whole.
Yeah, no, you're a large creature. As
My
the other
head will
men
rip
walk.
apart, and they'll all
The
eat
other-
a piece.
The other men watch on his terror as you've got this man by the head and start to sit there and get him down the, would it be gullet for a bird?
I think so. I think that's correct.
We'll go with gullet. As one of the, as a head grabs each limb of this man and then rips them apart, swallowing a limb as the main body takes, as the main head just takes the whole head and torso whole down the gullet.
Whole time, I'm gonna be I want all of my heads to look at an individual person as I'm eating this man. Eye contact.
And then, as you're doing this, there is an arrow to one of your eyes. As you take 18 damage.
Owie.
There's a man further off in the distance with a bow that just shot at you. He say after this fires one arrow, looks for a second, realizing does not seem to have much effect, and starts to retreat. A few of the other men start to retreat as well, but you have like 6 or 7 reaction attacks left.
I have that many reaction attacks.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
How close is the man with the arrow?
Well, the man with the arrow is running off in the distance. He's like 90 feet away at the moment.
So I'm gonna roll for 6.
But everyone else in that circle that was with the armored man, you can roll for.
Okay.
There's also a matter of, I don't know if those reactionary attacks are restricted to one target each. As in, I don't think that there's anything saying that like 3 of them can't hit the same guy.
No, it doesn't say anything. It just says the extra reactions can be used only for opportunity attacks.
Yeah.
Doesn't say anything about they can't go towards multiple people, so I'll let you split them however they want, but...
So there's 6 people?
Yeah.
Cool. This poor man, one of them got a nat 20.
Are any of your rolls below 10?
No.
Are these
Okay,
guys
then.
frightened?
I think she stole
Yeah.
my luck tonight.
So you're also doing that extra D4, just to note.
D10 plus a
Yeah.
D4 plus 3. Most of these guys have between 5 and 7 health, unless I denote otherwise, like man with bow or man with armor.
So I'm not rolling my full 8d10.
I'm just gonna say they're fucking dead. unless you roll like ones on both of your die.
I mean, no.
Alright then.
Like, just to say this, watching visually just a fistful of dice.
So,
The one that got the d20.
how would you like to eviscerate 6 people?
I will rip them to shreds with my feet. With my claws. The d20, I'm gonna gut him.
Just gonna pin that one to the ground and start eating away.
I'm gonna claw him with my foot.
Do we have
With my
something that we need to work through?
No,
Okay.
I am the mother.
Max hasn't got to be as violent lately. She's played more docile characters and had to use guns. She hasn't got to be in the carnage.
Mm-mm.
Now she gets to be in the carnage.
I'm going to gut him. With my
You gut
foot.
him.
Excellent.
You sit there and you dig a trench in his guts.
I'm looking right at the arrow guy. I'm looking at him. He's next.
There's something that comes to mind, as Mama Goose said. After you dealt with these people, you guys got to fly north to the town and seek vengeance. As the bow and arrow man retreats further and further off, the rest of you have feast upon you. Unless Mama Goose wishes to call the flock to fly forward.
You want to get Bowman?
No,
Come
he is
eat
fast.
my children. Come eat
Bowman-
before we attack.
Bowman is fast as fuck. Bowman is running the fuck away.
Can I throw one of my babies at him?
Yes.
By
Why
the
are you
time your
asking?
By the time your babies get there, he is unfortunately out of sight in the trees and mist.
Damn it. Eat my children. Eat, for we shall attack.
What time of day is it?
Morning.
Okay.
It's the morning
No
light.
breakfast.
That's why I was just making sure. I thought he said so. Most important meal of the day.
Turning up mommy's way.
Yeah.
How long are you gonna feast on these people? Or is this just a feast until there's bones?
Whatever makes them happy and full, but not so full that they get lethargic. Just enough that they're energized.
They still have to fly.
Yes. Eat enough that you don't get fainty, but not enough that you get lethargic.
Honk, 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 honk.
Yeah, man.
Happy little honks.
I'm eating those this.
Alright, Eric, we need to practice in your editing skills to remake this entire video, but everyone is just honking the entire time, and you're just subtitling what we've said on the stream.
Yes. Yes. You must. It'll be hilarious.
Well, mechanically, that would be removing the audio clips from Discord and here, overlaying honking. And then
And then
just
typing
letting
it
the
out.
transcript... No, not even typing it out. Letting the automatically generated transcript be the thing on the bottom. However, that's not something I'm willing to do.
You trust the YouTube you trust the automatic transcript to work?
You mean it comes up with some weird shit that definitely isn't words, but I feel like that's in the spirit of this correctly. So...
And then you could just have black and white pictures of like the little goose and the big goose, like it's a stop motion movie.
It just gets more and more adventurous as it goes. I must ask, for the sake of knives, are there any particularly sharp bone pieces?
There's someone that literally had a knife.
I am looting knives. I want knives.
You may have 3 knives.
I have 3 knives.
I want to do things, but I'm kind of incredibly stupid, so I'm not going to do them.
You are not stupid, honey. Mommy loves you very much.
That's great. My stat block says otherwise.
Honk,
Just
honk.
remember, 6 intelligence is the same as something like Grog. We can be violent. With weapons. Alright, I have my
Alright. After the initial feasting, you hear the bell from Mother Hag.
The return home bell?
Yes.
Home. Go home. We go home.
I love that you peeked the mic.
Thank you.
I let you get out, and then Discord went, no, I shall protect them.
The almighty
just
hump
scoop out.
is too powerful.
Alright, so as we have a myriad of blood-covered geese coming back from their fresh feeding, one of them with knives.
I'm feeling judgment right now, and I don't appreciate it.
She pulls out a bag of thumbs that has different colors. We have a black, a red, a gray, a blue, and a green.
Okay.
Who wants what color?
Black, red, blue, gray, green?
Yep.
I'll take gray.
Mommy has specially made some thumbs for you, with magic imbued into them. Oh, I see you're eager. Drop a knife. Drop a knife if you want the thumb.
I drop 1 knife.
Throws the thumb towards you.
I'll eat it. I'm getting fed, I'll take it.
Alright. Alright, Dylan has claimed green. Write down the color you're taking.
It's writing down everybody's now, so if there's questions later.
I
So
will
Dylan has
claim
green.
black.
You're claiming black. Alright, Arik, Medina, we got red and blue. Medina's muted, so I guess he gets last pick.
Oh, I don't want blue.
So you want red, alright.
Blue is not a natural color for food things.
Sally Jackson,
So-
what happens with you?
That's the other side. The coins are natural blue. Purple is blue, yeah. It's amazing.
So, got that written down, Matt?
Yep, I have everybody's written down, because Arik doesn't like blue.
Can we get a honk from everyone again before we attack a village?
Aww.
I don't like this. Honk.
Arik, you should be one for embracing the goofy.
Well, there's the goofy, and then there's like the... Everyone
Eric.
parrot this noise.
Arik, you just gotta be loosey-goosey.
Nothing else to offer.
Blueberries. Blueberries are blue.
They're
They're
not.
natural.
They're fucking purple.
Blueberries are not blue.
Well, they're
Blue
blue.
is not a naturally existing color
not
in
blue,
most
they're
forms
purple.
of plant.
Actually, there is a mushroom that's blue.
I said most forms of plant, and don't you dare bring fucking mushrooms into plant arguments. Mushrooms exist outside of biology.
Unfortunately, that looks rather blue, so I mean, I guess we're so wrong.
You're just colorblind. That's okay.
I just want to know I will get my dagger back.
Okay.
I see some more blue things.
All right. Now, go. Fly north to the village. Show them what they get for messing with us and trespassing.
Mama Goose is gonna look at her and honk and lick her wound. Anything you can do about that?
She'll sit there for a second. Oh, they stabbed my baby. Here.
Aw.
Flashes a potion on it. Get 8 health back.
Hell yeah.
I feel like these thumbs did something.
Takes
Sure
the
they
arrow
will.
out of your eye. Gives
Thank
you an eye
you.
patch.
Hell yeah. Dude, is a goose tongue, is it pointy? Can I give her a little lick?
They have those, like, teeth protrusions.
Do that. I'm just gonna place one of my heads on top of her head, like I'm thanking her.
No, those aren't
She'll
actually
give you-
like teeth or anything.
I don't want to lick her. That sounds weird.
I don't know what those protrusions are.
Just to keep food from getting out.
Just give you some pats on the back of the head. Oh, that's why you're Mama's favorite. That's why you've lived this long and are the oldest.
The goose equivalent of a purr. Happy honk.
Okay, there's people to kill. Go bring me back some newborns.
Charge!
Have fun!
She takes to the
Happily.
skies.
I happily honk away and follow.
Honk.
Honk, 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 honk.
Alright. So. You guys fly for about half an hour. How high up? Actually, how high up are you flying?
200 feet. Possibly 300.
I was thinking like 40 feet.
40 feet will not clear the tree line.
Never mind, enough to clear the tree line. I want to be able to see people.
Okay.
Birds.
Do you want to go like just above the tree line, or do you want to go like way up?
Archer.
A decent bit above the tree line, but I still want to be able to see people.
Okay, well, you can see for pretty far, so.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, Dylan's actually pretty right there, about 200.
Then yes, Dylan, I'm sorry. I did not believe you.
Although trees could provide cover from Archer.
Yes, but there's a village to go to.
I think I'll just take. Right.
After about half an hour of flying, you can start to see the village within sight, and you all feel something changing inside of you. A bit of a rumble in your stomach at first, and then your feathers start to change color, corresponding with what you ate. Matt Goose, with the gray.
Yeah.
You, after your feathers grow gray, you feel a large pain in your chest as something starts to jut out of it. Underneath your wings, musculature starts to form. Slowly, as it rips out of your chest, there's first what look like raptor-like hands, except with full functioning thumbs. That then
Oh my
proceed
god,
to
I have
grow
hands!
more and more muscle, until eventually they look like knuckle dragger style arms. As then a thin layer of like down coat feathers start to just grow over them, leaving the knuckles bare.
Okay. Does it
Dylan.
do anything, or is it just I have arms now?
You have arms. You have
Is
an
my
extra.
strength score still negative?
You can use dexterity for them,
Yes.
but I was going to give you 15 strength.
Fucking take it.
You also have weapon proficiency now. That includes martial.
Weapon proficiency. Noted. It'll help me because I'm missing a fucking leg. I can get around now at least a little bit better on the ground.
As instead of using your arms for a weapon, you find a crutch.
That only takes one.
But Dylan, who has eaten the green,
Yes, yes.
a few
Yes.
mushrooms start to sprout out of you in places. As your feathers turn a very woodland green, you get spots about you that have little yellow and white bits occasionally, and then one larger mushroom sprouts out of your head, very low, almost like a hat, like one of those red cap ones.
Yay! Happy little honks.
Anyone that gets within melee distance of you and attacks you takes a d4 of poison.
Wait, just if they attack or what? Or if they're within that range of it?
If they attack you within melee range.
So only if they attack, so I don't could add that to my attacks?
No. They attack you, they knock off spores that poison them. And make tasty mushrooms for you to eat off the corpses.
Okay.
Max had the black one.
Mm-hmm.
As the tips of your feathers sit there and just stain inky black. They sharpen like knives. You can now shoot out ranged attacks of sharpened feathers.
Wow.
Like daggers, like 2060. They can replace. You can use. So you can replace up to 2 of your head attacks, 1 for each wing. So you just shoot out some daggers, essentially. Goose daggers. Arik.
Great.
Arik Goose, who has eaten the red thumb. Why is it so spicy?
Oh no.
You've got a bit of a heartburn and indigestion going on, and then you have a bit of a goose burp, and some fire comes out. Instead of using your beak attacks, you can make a 15-foot cone of fire for 2d6. DC 12 saving throw. Dexterity.
How much damage did you say it was? And
2d6.
size.
15-foot cone. 2d6. You've basically got the Dragon Breath spell.
Important question. You said replace 2 attacks. Does he still get one of his beak attacks then?
I meant, wait, what? No, that was for Max.
No, just now. You said it replaces 2 of his beak attacks, I thought.
I said 2 beak for Max for the 2 wings. If I said what
I might have misheard. That's why I'm just checking. Sorry.
for his, I meant whatever I said for his is meant to be a replacement. Instead of doing his beak attacks, he can breathe fire. And you have a very nice red velvety coat.
Ad infinitum, or do I need to watch for charges or something?
You don't know you're a goose.
I'll figure it out. It will not be whenever it's good timing.
What?
I just asked if that made him the redheaded stepchild.
Yeah, that's you.
I'm gray.
Exactly. Gotta break those stereotypes.
And Medina, If he's even here, because he's still okay, he's not muted anymore. Good.
Oh no.
Who by default was given the blue one. You feel cold inside, as ice and snow seems to emanate from your feathers and cloak, almost forming an armor around you. Raise your AC to 16.
Alright.
As such, the Goose Rangers have formed. Descend upon your prey.
Ow.
As after a few more minutes of flying, it's not quite noon yet. It's still early morning, actually. Probably closer to something like 9 or 10. Off in the distance, there are townfolk, some of which look like they formed a bit of a meager guard, realizing that someone had made it back, warned them. They're making some kind of defense, but, well, against flying creatures, that's a bit hard. They've gotten a bit of arms ready for what they can. Things are getting boarded up inside. People that want to stay there, though. Some look like they're getting supplies to leave. Leader of the pack, Mother Goose, what would you like to do?
How far away?
How far? Well, they're several hundred feet away, not including the fact that you're a couple hundred in the air.
Right. I'm going to start to land.
Land like in the tree line, just walk out of it, or just like in the middle of a field.
Is there a building?
There are several buildings. There's a church also.
Is there... Oh, I want to land on the church.
The church is the tallest building.
I want to land on the church, and then I wish to honk of doom.
As you are coming down from the skies, that menacing shadow from before appears. This time, some people spot you from the severe height and start to shout as one person blows a horn, and then you crash onto the roof of the church, letting out your honk. Max, that time it only picked up the H. It's okay. Matt experiences every Borderlands session for like half of his dialogue.
It's not meant to be understood.
All right. Yeah. Most of these peasants look terrified. As
Amazing.
There's a few that hold their ground. You can see a few people that sit there and they just slam their doors shut and slam the windows. Other geese behind her. Where are you landing?
I think we're all gonna land on the roof, then we're gonna roll initiative, and then I'm gonna ask what the hell's happening, and then I'm gonna disperse as my thing.
I don't want to land on the roof. I had to learn to be smarter because somebody took my leg. I had to learn to hunt wiser. I would like to hide amongst a different roof.
Do you actually want to hide?
I want to hide.
Make a stealth check.
And that's why you're my least favorite.
I only have to do this because somebody took my fucking leg. This 21.
Are there?
We'll get to you in a second. Other geese. Okay, what, Dylan?
Are there any open windows or any windows that might look like they're broken?
There are some windows that people haven't made it to shut yet in like second-story buildings and such. There's a place that looks like it might be a tavern or a barn or something, like place where there's several people gathered at that were panicking to get inside. That the top, say pretty much like a top shutter door style, was not closed yet.
I'm going in.
All right, that's where Dylan Goose will be heading. Eric Goose.
Just laugh evilly and very, very loudly. I might not have a hunk of doom, but I can sure scare them too. Hee 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 hee.
Arik, Goose, where would you like to land?
Arik Goose is letting the giant goose with all the hit points be the target, landing near her, and then probably gonna set the church on fire here soon.
So you're just landing behind her?
Yeah.
Do you want to light the fire now or wait?
That I feel like we need to initiate before we all start doing different things. Oh wait.
Medina Goose. Ice Goose. Goose Goose. You're still muted.
How big are the windows?
There's a few that you could fly into.
Yep.
You're technically a small creature, even though you're like bigger than like most halflings and gnomes, though.
Going through the window.
Going through a window?
Yep.
Roll me a d20.
Okay, 1 second.
Go. Get a white.
14.
14. Alright, so in order, Mama Goose crashes down in hunks with Arik Goose behind her landing. We have Matt Goose disappearing somewhere. Which, how do you let a knife with a goose disappear?
Unwisely.
I think I just said a knife with a goose.
You
I
did.
don't know.
You did.
All
You
right.
did.
It's
Lunarism,
appropriate
yay.
enough.
Appropriate enough.
But, I'll say. And then two of the geese, one of them flying into an open barn door style, the other just crashing through someone's window.
No, do not drop that in. Bella, not playing around.
We're gonna have more of a, I don't know, initiative doesn't fit as well, more of, we're just gonna go with a flow here. If everyone say what they want to do, and we'll go in an order. More skill challenge like.
The window if there's anybody in there.
There's a terrified family.
Going for the youngest.
All right. He's going in for the family. Dylan Goose, what are you doing in the other building?
I want to find some people.
You have entered the second story of a building. There's no one up there at the moment, but there's a stairwell that you can run over to.
Alright, I do that.
And going down the stairwell, there were people that looked like they were about to run in and try to board it shut. But you're already there.
Honk, 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 honk.
Mama Goose, Arik Goose, attack.
Mhm.
What do?
Do I see the arrowmen that hit me?
You do not see the arrowmen at the moment.
Do I see an old lady?
Yes.
Just as good.
Intense. Actions.
I wish to attack the old lady.
They fly off and
Alright.
do that. I'm gonna set the roof on fire and then try to find the nearest, largest building.
Alright, so, alright, Matt Goose. Stealth Goose.
Stealth Goose time. See, I have these arms now that are really good with giant, like, strength man hands. If I look over the roof, can I wait until the last person in a line is coming by and just snag them quietly?
Alright, we're gonna have things in order. So, Mother Goose. Say,
Yes.
Mother Goose jumps down as an old lady is at the door. Say not the doorstep, but at the stairs of the church, praying. And then she's not because the giant fucking goose just lands on her.
Your god does not exist. I am your god.
As Arik Goose starts to burn the church and then flies off to the next biggest building he can see. That's the one Dylan went to. Dylan Goose. There,
Honk, honk.
you have caught people in the stairwell. What do you want to do with them?
Yeah. Honk. I wish to attack.
All right, there's like 3 of them in a row. and one of let's say they were all carrying supplies, not ready to defend themselves.
And I have 3 attacks. Cool.
I'll see if any of them even do anything to you. One of them manages to hit you with a boarded piece of wood through the attack and deals 2 damage. Just smacks you across in one of the heads, which you then promptly use.
Beat them to death.
Medina Goose. Oh, you have them cornered. The fools. They had their door closed and were getting ready to close the window, but you smashed right through it with your armored form now, Vice. And you said you're just going for the youngest child that you can see?
How high up are we?
This family appears to have an infant, but there is a small boy as well.
I'm saying, what floor are we on?
You are on the first floor. This is only a first floor building.
Oh. The boy.
The boy.
Remember, we're supposed to
Oh.
kidnap the children, the infants.
Yeah, I think that's why he said he's attacking the boy. As you run in and just start to eviscerate the boy.
Going for the tongue, pulling it out. He can't stir it.
Going for the tongue.
God.
The mother tries to sit there and run around you. She has enough room inside the house to actually flee and start to run towards the door. We'll go for that next. Matt Goose, last Goose. Stealth Goose.
Stealth Goose time. This is the only time the dice gods will allow me to be any level of rogue, probably.
Make an athletics check.
You know what? That dice doesn't feel like it right now. Oh, it does. 21.
As a group of people run by, and then just a thick knuckle
Just take
dragger, raptor-like hand just swoops out from behind the corner of a building as the last person runs by, as you grab what looks to be a teenage woman just by the throat.
Just lead in real close with one of the heads.
Huh.
And then the other two just tear into him.
Sci-Fi Channel, we're writing a B-rated movie for you right now.
Attack of the Beaut Geese.
And now we all know how they're animated.
What?
And
Have you seen, like, those crappy sci-fi movies? They are all animated the
Yeah.
exact same.
That's true.
Oh yes. Which makes it even better for this. Alright. Arik Goose. You're flying over. You're just lighting that building on fire, correct? Are you just lighting this town on fire one building at a time?
Yeah.
Okay. Speak up if there's something else you wish to do, otherwise you're just gonna keep going from building to building.
Well, it's gonna be removing their cover and driving everything into the open, or they're gonna be dying inside.
Yeah!
Shrugs.
Speaking of, Dylan Goose, inside that building you just killed 3 people. There's someone that has grabbed an actual proper spear downstairs. That's got a bit of makeshift cover on them. That was busy doing something and has started to run towards you. Also, you're pretty sure you smell smoke from the top of the roof. There's a few other people inside this building that were getting ready.
I just beat someone to death with a piece of wood. Can I
Yes.
throw that at his face as an attack?
You may. You may. That's just a flat roll.
Okay, how does a 19 sound to you?
Yes. Thwack.
Probably about 8
Roll a
too
D4.
many.
Roll a d4. I don't have any d4s out. Give me a second.
Gasp, you don't have a full dice set out.
Well,
You
I
need to
do,
always
it's
have at
just-
least 5.
2. I do 2 damage.
2 damage. This man is as you hit this man in the head, as a little bit of blood starts to go from his brow. He just runs at you and charges spear force. Yeah, spear first.
Well, I mean, I have Goose. I have 3 attack, right?
Yeah,
I'll do
but we're
that.
not doing this. We're not doing this in a full order.
Aw.
It's okay. You get to pretty much murder everyone else in here after this guy as their defender. You take
Okay.
4 damage as he spear charges into you.
Can I rip his throat out in retaliation?
Yes, he does take the spores. Give him the poison.
Oh yeah, it's a D4, wasn't it? I
It
guess
was.
I do need a D4.
Another reason you should have a D4.
How unprepared of me.
It's okay.
You was lucky.
I don't think anyone was prepared for this aside from getting ready to murder everything.
3.
3. Hey, that's the number. As this guy charged into you, and he spears into one of your wings. As you're flapping it, trying to get down the stairs, getting past the bodies of the men you just killed, you're letting out just a cloud of spores around you. As he stabs in, he starts to cough, and then starts to fall down the stairs, coughing and rolling. He hits the bottom, and is just coughing, unable to breathe, and just stops moving after a few seconds, choking. The rest of the room is yours to take.
Loud honk of victory. Honk!
As a couple people flee into the streets. A couple of them try to hide behind what looks like a bar desk. Some more in there. They throw some glass mugs at you, but they miss. One of them hits you, but it doesn't even do anything. It just breaks off your wing. Medina duck. Or Medina goose, sorry. Birds. I am bird brain, not smart.
The mother was trying to flee.
She is trying to flee.
How big is the small boy?
The one that you just eviscerated?
Yep.
Like a 5-year-old.
Can I throw him?
You may throw the 5. Actually, no. You still got like 8 strength.
Is he trying to leave through the door?
She is trying to leave through the door.
Can I throw his head at the door, closing it?
Sure.
That's what I'll do.
Throw the head at the door as it just bounces off the door and rolls in front of her feet. Woman screaming starts to run away from her own child's head as turn her back around and met with you again.
Castrate the husband.
He's not there.
Gonna jump on her face.
Jump on her face. All right, jump on her face. Kill the woman. What do you do with the infant?
Is it wrapped up in a blanket?
Yeah, it's in one of those little swaddles.
Picking it up in this. Cat's just hopping out the window and walking away.
Say it again? Bit distorted.
Casually just picking it up by the blanket, just like waddling away.
Okay.
No.
I just hop back up, fly out the window.
The flying just like hopping off the window, hopping down, just waddling.
Mama Goose, you can see that Medina Goose in his ice armor has secured the first infant.
Excellent, excellent.
Mama Goose, what would you like to do?
Is there an orphanage?
You're not sure. You can't read.
That's true. Do I see a bunch of children anywhere?
Perception check.
Remember, advantage
12.
because Goose.
Yes, you do have advantage if you did not roll with that.
Yes. 13.
13. Well, no one's really trying to hide here. It's mostly just... Actually, there's some people trying to hide. But most people are trying to flee in terror. You can see what looks like there's a few horses with carriages that people are trying to set up, including a few. It looks like someone trying to load up a few children into one.
Stables is the next target of Fire Goose then.
All right.
You said they're trying to do what? I'm
It
sorry.
looks like they're trying to load up people into horse carriages.
Not if I kill the horse.
It'll take. All right. You spread your wings and start to just fly out towards there. We'll get back to that then. Stealth, duck, horse, goose. My brain's not
Stealth
functioning.
horse.
It's okay.
Chimera of the abyss.
Horse of
Fair
balaclava.
enough. You know, just out of curiosity, because the martial weapon proficiency, the weapon proficiency stuff, is there anything on hand nearby?
Mostly farming equipment.
So I can get like an axe or two.
You can get some wood axes.
Good.
Hang on, give me a perception check.
Oh. 20.
Scythe.
Thank God for that advantage.
20. There is one man with a sword who looks like he was still putting on his gear from something, who's still getting it set up. He's got most of his gear on. As he's putting on his helmet, you can see this through a window. As that bit of a, oh fuck, oh shit, just trying to get everything ready, picking up a shield.
I quietly Zoro style bite onto one knife and draw my other two knives. I know what I must do. Can I Kool-Aid Man through this window at him?
You may.
I want that sword.
Alright. Stabbeth the man.
How many attacks do I get with daggers?
You're replacing your beak attacks.
Oh, good.
Which, the daggers are technically weaker, but, I mean, you can throw those if you want.
True.
Or you can just stab this man for the fun of it.
Yeah, I know. That's kind of the whole point of this. This wasn't for efficiency. The lowest one was a 17.
Yes.
What have I done? I forgot to grab my fucking D4s when I had daggers.
Does no one have D4s ready except for, like, Arik?
I don't use D4s very often.
I even have D12s, and I am yet to use one.
I mean, just through in general games.
Alright.
6, and 5.
It's okay, he rolled a natural 1 as he goes to swing with his sword. And you parry it. And there's that brief moment of where your eyes meet.
All 6 of mine making eye contact with his too.
Yes. And the utter confusion of this young man that has just been parried by a goose. I think it's stabbed 3 times. How do you stab him?
You know, I've already been into this. Just one head lashes down and the other two, like, the giant, the muscular arms just exit, and it's like a weird X with another third line that's kind of at a slightly different angle from one of them.
He's still alive, but bleeding profusely. As you manage to get through chinks in the armor, 2 of the stabs just go into his armpits.
Technical question.
Yes.
If we use 2-weapon fighting, could I make a bonus action attack?
No, this is replacing your multi-attack here. This is part of it.
Acceptable. I had to try. I had to make this man regret his decisions more.
As 2 of your stabs get into his armpits, and one of them just across his face. Man has fallen to the ground. We'll get back to you. And this man.
Satisfied with this.
And you probably taking his sword and shield briefly.
I will in a minute.
Medina duck. Goose. Damn it! Why do I keep saying duck?
I don't know.
It's because I'm an idiot. But, Medina Goose. You're just you have an infant. You're in the middle of the streets, people are panicking.
Where am I supposed to take the baby?
Back to the hag mother, of course.
Am
What
I
did you say?
flying back and just hissing at everybody I see and anybody within fighting range?
It was like an hour flight back, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah, it took a while to get here.
You could stash it somewhere.
On the roof.
Just fly up to a roof and put an infant on there. Yep.
Better hope it's not one that gets burned down.
Not that one.
Put it on one that isn't on fire currently. Set it up
And one
there.
that's not sloped.
All right, fair enough. What are you looking for next?
Just begins to roll.
Are you targeting more infants?
All of them. Gonna look for more windows. If there's any more.
Perception. I mean, there's also just people running on the streets if you want to try and grab others.
If there's any running with kids.
Either way, perception.
1 second. Here.
Dylan Goose, you think of what you're going to do next. We're done with his.
Yeah. Advantage. $17.
17. There's a few mother running with young children.
Put up the infants.
There's one with infant that you can see from where you're at.
So we're behind us, snatching.
What?
It's gonna swoop down and snatch it.
Scoop down and stretch it. Make a grab attack.
That's strength.
Athletics. Yeah.
D20 minus 1.
20 minus 1. These
That
things
said-
don't have,
It's fighting a baby.
It's fighting
Well.
a young woman with a baby.
12.
I rolled a 2. Baby acquired.
Back to the roof.
As a woman is running trying to get to those carriages, a red goose flies overhead towards the stables as Mother Goose is going that direction as well. Stops for a moment, starting to look around and maybe flee a different direction. And then, as overhead, a goose head just necks in, snatches the swaddle, yanks it right out of her hands, and then U-turns back away. Dylan Goose.
There are people here. They must all die.
There are people here. Alright.
Okay, so. Want to find... Want to kill them? I want to rip somebody's tongue out. Just grab him, just like...
Alright. Someone tries
Like
to take
Cobra Strike, just...
Alright, someone runs up to you and tries to take a chair and just beat one of your heads with it, but you just raise one of your wings and they're just not strong enough as the chair hits on you, and then you just Cobra Strike their head and rip their tongue out.
Yeah. Anyone else in there to kill?
Oh, you saw a couple people that tried to hide behind a bar area.
Go over there. Attack! Smash their heads in.
Are you like just walking around the counter, or are you just jumping over it?
I want to jump over the counter and just like stare at them for a second, and then just like smash their heads in with my beaks.
Just jump on top of the counter. Stare at them menacingly. A single honk. And then the apex predator of the Gussadra descends upon them. To be fair, it should take 4 level 1 adventurers to technically fight one of these things.
That's hilarious.
They are challenge rating 1. Then again, the challenge rating system's all I see.
Doesn't work.
Better in
Yeah.
better in the book you have than most books.
I think that's because it accounts for people taking feats and multi-classing and stuff. But Mama Goose, Arik Goose is lighting the stables on fire.
The stables can make a deck safe. I'm
gonna say they can.
don't got a lot to do.
The stables are, as you fly overhead, just breathing fire down upon the stables. Horses start to flee as some people were on them, some people weren't. One of the carriages just kicks off on its own.
Are there any flaming horses running about town, lighting other things on fire?
Not yet. I mean, if that's what everything's doing next, though.
Hey, moving targets.
I don't think this town has walls.
Arik, that's a... No, it's just kind of got mostly, like, small fences and stuff, Arik, but that's a... Kill a horse, that's a big feast.
Yeah, but we have to be able to eat it, and that means all the things that like to stab us need to be dead first or gone. I think I hear baby crying. Fly up to the rooftop.
As you fly up to a rooftop, Medina Goose also lands up there and sets down another baby.
Just
Mother
can't.
Goose, what are you doing? Go on, Arik.
Mother Goose is killing the horses so they can't escape.
Go on, Arik. What were you saying?
She's murdering horses over there. Just give the now cold goose a look, and then grab one of the babies and make for a way outside the city, probably in like a nearby clearing or something. Setting a trap.
Medina Goose. You just took one of the babies you took and started flying off.
Yes.
Okay,
think
you okay with that?
I think we should follow.
Say again.
Medina Goose, Arik Goose, just flew up there, took one of the babies you gathered, and started flying off to the woods.
Well, he also gave you a look.
Really
He
Goose.
might want you to follow him.
But there's more.
What you gonna do?
Getting this cleared out before we go back to Mama Goose.
We lack the cheat code of language.
That belongs right back to me. Well, as I get this one, do I see any more?
There are more younglings to gather.
Okay, you switch to younglings.
Any that I can see?
Yes.
Where?
You can see it. You can see someone getting out of a carriage. It looks like a mother and father taking 2 kids and an infant, as Mama Goose is attacking the horse that carriage was attached to.
Well, that's distracting. I'm gonna yank the young one.
Dunk.
All right, you're gonna fly back over there. All right.
I still
Stealth
got the
Goose.
other one.
Actually,
I have 2 more hits.
Stealth Goose. No, sorry, Mama Goose first.
Yes,
Mama Goose, you're attacking the horse.
I'm catching all the horse. Horse, plural.
You're attacking multiple horses. One of them gets to go to hoof into you, hitting us that might have actually done some pretty good damage, as the horse deals 10 damage, kicking you in the side. Mama Goose will be over there for a few rounds dealing with horses.
Can Mama Goose not just kill horse now? I think
You can kill horse now.
I think I could.
They are more
You wanna kill
robust
that
than these poor villagers.
You want to kill that horse that kicked you?
Yes,
Not by much though.
Enough.
that is a 25 to hit.
Yes.
That's a hard bar to jump over.
The horse scared of me.
Are you gonna honk of doom on him? It's been a while.
I think it might have already been frightened by, you know, a bunch of other things.
Horses get spooked.
Give me second for math.
You do that. Matt, do you know what you're doing next?
I got a fucking sword to get. And shield.
Alright. Hulk. Hulk.
Away a shot.
Kitty cats make wonderful feet warmers.
What make feet warmers?
Kitty cats make wonderful feet warmers.
Ah, yes. So do large dogs.
Yeah, they
Have
do.
mine ready. Are we doing mine or are we doing it on her still?
I think you
Mac-
need like three of them.
doing that.
Three of your men.
Max is
Okay.
doing that.
Yeah,
Go
I have
ahead.
my stuff done.
Well, she's doing math. Go ahead, Matt.
I would like to continue brutalizing this man.
How so?
He has done nothing to deserve my ire, of course, but nonetheless, he is here and receiving it.
Sir, you are neutral. Sir, you are listed as neutral evil. The world deserves your ire for no other
Exactly.
reason than existing.
Just like doubling it, just lashing out at him. I hit 3 times, I think. 14 was the lowest one.
14-1 does not hit. His shield
Then
saves
16.
him from one blow. 16
Oh, say
does.
that's 16. Alright, well then he takes 11 points of damage with the other 2, as I just want to like raise them up and stab them down like sacrificial dagger style.
He manages to block the dagger from the goose head that swings towards him. But his arms already weakened from being stabbed, blood getting in his eyes from the wound from the face. He doesn't raise his shield up in time to deal with the knuckle dragger arms of a goose flying in the air attacking him as they just slam down into the sides of his neck.
I move one dagger to my mouth, sheath one of them, and then pick up his sword and shield. The Goose of War has
kicking down the door. The stealth goose is now armed.
Wait, what kind of sword is this, by the way?
It's a long sword.
Hell yeah. The appropriate damage dice for next round.
There's also a woodsman axe nearby if you want to swap a knife for that.
I will absolutely swap a knife for a fucking woodsman's axe.
Alright.
Long sword. I
The
think it
armed
counts as
goose.
a hand axe.
Yeah.
Okay. Axe in one mouth, dagger in another mouth, sword in hand, shield in hand. I'm ready to go.
Does Mama Goose have her damage?
Oh, this too. 74.
74?
Yeah.
You kill all the horses that are within reach of you. As you sit there in just a flurry, just biting horses' necks, taking out their legs.
There is no escape. That's what you get for kicking me.
How do you want to deal with that horse that specifically kicked you?
You're about to jugular.
One of your necks just grabs it by the jugular, tears it out.
I'm not a horse, so I spit it out.
What do you do about the people that are sitting there trying to get out of the carriage and flee?
One of them is going to turn 180 towards them. Onto the carriage. And I'm going to rip the carriage open like it's a can of sardines.
Just like start ripping the top open.
Yeah.
pecking away at the wood, ripping boards off.
I wish to pick them out one by one and start throwing them.
Alright. Well, Mama Goose is just picking people out and just throwing them with her 7 heads. Man. People ask, in Dungeons & Dragons, why is everything so dark? Why do all these characters have tragic backstories? Why are people so hateful of evil?
Alright.
This, sadly, is literally just a D&D thing. You know,
That was
sometimes you're living in a town, sometimes someone pisses off a hag. She sends a small armada of people-sized geese to come murder everyone. And that's just how things are.
And yet,
Sometime-
it's not the weirdest situation.
Still not the weirdest situation, sometimes there's a survivor. Maybe a ranger, maybe a rogue, maybe someone who can just run really fast or manage to hide from the bloodshed, and that becomes a player character that wants revenge on hags and has a fear of geese.
It better not. No survivors.
I'm sure
Matt-
that we've already got
Matt-
one. the
She's
ranger.
heading to the moon.
Max, you just came in like super muffled and staticky while saying no survivors.
I just wonder one of these infants is gonna get away from a hag and become a rogue. They have the no parent backstory already.
I said no survivors.
Every time a goose honks, they just get a cold sweat. They were too young to remember why. They just know on an instinctual level, something is very wrong with geese.
Then they're a powerful level 20 rogue, and then giant goose just sits on them when they die. Just
Picks them up, drops them from 200 feet. But, Arik Goose, what are you burning next?
Well, first I think I need to drop off this infant.
Yeah, you're going to go. Yep, that's a pretty important thing. Unless you just want to carry it around.
No, not yet. The destination for this one is outside the area of the fire, in an area like in a nice clearing or something to where if something is going toward it, we would be able to see it.
Okay. Go set that down. Dylan Goose, you have killed everyone in this building.
Time to go find more people outside the building.
Are you taking a snack with you?
Yes. Wait. When I go outside the building, do I see any infants? I remember being told I should get some.
How are you opening this door?
Going through the same window we came in through.
I blink at the door a few times and go out the same window I came in through.
Just stand there. Meh.
This is a wall.
Turn around, waddle back up.
I don't know how doors work.
Wait,
It's a
what did you
wall.
want for a snack?
A nice arm. Or
Just
maybe a
peck.
thigh.
Just peck someone's arm off, just drag it up the stairs with one head.
Do I get out there?
Some of those bodies of the people you killed are just starting to magically grow mushrooms on them.
Ooh. Does the arm I'm eating have any on them?
Yes, it does.
I wish to eat some.
Hey, they taste pretty good.
Nom nom nom. Okay, outside the window, do I see or hear any infants? Any sign of small children?
At the moment, you see no infants, but you do see there's a church on fire that people have started running out from. Pretty much dead ahead for you.
I want to go smack dab in front of the doors and force them back in.
Just get in front of the doors where they're running down the stairs, and just block their exit.
And kill anything that tries to come out. and hope that they can't go and get out any other way.
You can't completely block the stairs, but you can kill a couple people along the way and then just stand in the doorway once you get there.
All right. Do any of them have children with them? Infants with them?
No infants, sadly, but you can kill the children.
All right. Kill the people.
Matthew,
the doors.
you need to get a bag to stuff the babies in. I know. I noticed that.
You need a baby bag.
A baby bag.
Ice goose on the roof. Medina.
Medina.
Yes.
Medina.
Ice goose on the roof. What you doing?
I have 2 infants now, right?
We lost them.
Oh wait, no, that's right. You went to go snatch another baby.
You have 2. Arik has 1. There's 3 right there.
No.
I can grab another.
Oh, he's trying to grab another. Make your grabbing attempt.
This is for the 3rd one, right?
This will be the 3rd.
How?
Night goose on the loose. You're up next.
Here's my D20. There we go. And that. -1. That's going to be an 8.
8. Sadly, this time you do not manage to snatch the baby away from the mother as you fly overhead, and she hears the incoming flapping and ducks down. It starts to run towards an alleyway that might hopefully provide some cover from the flying terrors.
Where's your log
I
at?
say alley, it's more of just the in-between 2 houses next to each other.
That's fine. Time to swoop back around.
Do you want to head the direction she was heading towards the other side of the house, or just chase behind her?
If I go up, can I see?
The roofs kind of block it here.
I'm gonna go the other direction.
Alright, try to meet her on the other side. Matt, duck. Goose, fuck. Matt ducking.
Matthew.
Sorry,
Matt.
I was not responding because I am not a duck. But anyways,
For Goose then.
for the whole thing, back to the shadows. I have more people to ambush. I'm armed and dangerous.
Are you just gonna
That
are you making another? Are you trying to sneak?
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Make a stealth check as you're just.
I'm already playing a goose and spitting in the face of God. I might as well continue by being rogue.
Are you just gonna try to lurk around people's houses to see people that are hiding inside?
People hiding inside, anybody that looks vaguely dangerous, that kind of thing.
Are you just breaking into random houses to check?
I mean, if I see people, but I don't want to just break in. I am a rogue. I have more finesse than that, sir. Also, that is a 20 total. This is the only time I'm allowed to stealth.
As you sneak around, going from a few houses to houses. We'll get back to that in a moment. Mother Goose, what would you like to do next? You have killed horses, securing stopping many people from escaping, aside from a few on horseback that are currently fleeing. There are some people that are just straight hoofing it. They just book it.
What direction are they hoofing it?
Down the road further north.
I wish to block their path, and I wish to honk of doom.
Flying, because you fly at you've got a 60-foot fly speed. You can get in front of some people. Some people are further out and are kind of already safe unless you feel like very
Can I land
specifically
on
pursuing one person. That you may land on one person.
I wish to land on someone.
You land on someone, perform the honk of doom. That is a natural one. They are paralyzed in fear.
There is nowhere to run. I will attack.
Mama Goose attack. Barrage of heads, killing several people in one go.
How many rolls do I have to roll?
Don't worry about it, they're fucking dead.
They're dead!
You literally have to roll 2 1s for them to live.
No.
And I'm just going with they're dead.
Okay.
Because this is a Power Goose fantasy.
Yes.
Fantasy Goose Online 2.
She was going to keep an eye out for anyone else trying to flee.
Alright, so you're just flying back and forth on the road, attack people that try to leave.
Yes, no one shall leave. No survivors, no rogues will be made from this endeavor.
There was one person on a horseback that got away ahead of everyone else. Sadly, horse is
I was
about
gonna
as
say horse
fast
is
as
faster than Goose.
Horse is fast, it has already left.
That
There
one
is
got
one
away.
survivor. There is one survivor.
This is okay. We just need to make sure that he doesn't come back and try to kill us one day.
Arik Goose. You don't see anyone trying to go for your bait, it seems. However, you do spot someone that looks like they're just trying to crawl through the fields sneakily and get away.
Okay, define fields.
Tall grass.
Okay.
They're just kind of like, like waist-high grass. They're just kind of laying down, slowly going through that.
Guess we're gonna find out if it's rained in the last fortnight.
Regardless of if it's rained, that's 2d6 of fire.
Yeah, but I'm more mean for the spread, but yeah, go over there, hit the fire button.
Yep, that's 10 on the die. Apply fire.
12.
12! Yes, that is a very dead person that screams briefly for a moment for being completely consumed in flame. And yes, Arik Goose. This grass seemed to be dry as it starts to spread.
But I'm gonna mentally do goose mechanics to see if the baby location is safe from the fire.
Swoop around, light the grass on fire. Huh. Well, the baby is on grass. Maybe it should be.
Watch that reacquire higher vantage point.
Perch up in a tree. Meanwhile, Dylan Goose, you are just slaughtering the people just trying to attend church.
It's on fire.
Do I
They were
see
trying to-
any
they-
priest?
They were trying to attend it, but then it got lit on fire.
Yes.
And now there's a goose blocking the main exit.
Do I see any priest?
Pretty sure one just jumped out of a second-story window trying to run away.
I want to grab him and drag him back and just...
So just run around to the...
I want to break his legs, maim him, drag him back to the... Send feet to the church right where I was, and then go back to doing what I was.
Okay, I'm very detached from this, but I have to kind of put it out there again. Is there something that needs to be talked about?
This is just letting everyone's aggressions out.
Apparently, Jesus Christ. It's not even like
told you.
provoked, they're just going for it.
They are embracing the goose
Goose.
and its nature of
Like to
hatred
think I'm
towards
doing
life.
okay.
I went to go and have a broken priest just be sitting on him as I just go and massacre everyone who tries to come out.
Alright, that priest that jumped out of the window, hit the ground rough. He's putting some glass out of his hands, gets a shard out of his leg as you fly around the corner and just start going at him, pecking at his legs over and over again, just ripping his legs to shred and then just drag him back. Take 2 damage as the priest manages to stab you with a piece of glass that was in his leg at some point before you honk that away.
And then the priest takes.
He takes
Sure.
poison damage.
4 poison damage. Okay, let's see how much of that. 3. Takes 3
As
poison damage.
the priest is no longer alive from having his legs pecked away and then getting suffocated to death by a poisonous mushroom cloud. However, the priest corpse that you have dragged back and are now sitting on is starting to grow mushrooms. Along with that pile of people that you've killed already.
A snack on a few.
There are
I
people.
want to pick a mushroom up and throw it at somebody and just shove it into somebody's mouth and force them to eat one and see what happens.
Alright, you're sitting there just shoving a mushroom into someone's face as they're coughing. It's not really working too well as you have a beak rather than a hand. And it's more of just shoving your beak into their mouth, breaking their teeth.
Jesus.
Kind of hard to tell of, swallowing mushroom. But it looks more like they're choking from having a bird shove their beak into their mouth and break it. And they're just being a mushroom stuck in their airway.
I want to repeat Eric's question. Are all y'all okay?
I don't know
Well,
about
you
you, I'm having a grand time.
I'm just setting things on fire. It's very, very detached. Meanwhile, these guys are like, I want to rip out tongues, cripple their knees.
I'm just playing Stealth Goose. I don't think I'm doing that bad either, but damn!
Shove it down their fucking throat. Jesus, man.
Matt's doing the normal D&D thing. I stab them and take their gear.
Listen, you gave me arms and weapon proficiency. What did you
What else is he supposed to do?
Listen, you have arms. You have arms with opposable thumbs. The world is open to you now.
I know.
Takes
Just
up
wait until I
writing.
find a crossbow or a bow.
Picks up writing.
Well, the ranger from before seems to have disappeared.
Ranger from before Ranger from before probably went to town and went,
Not
hey,
worth it.
no, y'all fucked up. Leave. Ranger from before probably went, this is above my pay grade.
Reinforcements! Everyone's gonna die! Well, yes, but the geese will be dead as well later. Later.
I shall escape and become a Ronin.
You have trained in the art of the sword.
Listen, you gotta find the Great Gostra down the road, triple wielding great swords.
We shall escape and become a Roman? Was that it? Can't make many roads, are we?
Ronin.
Roman, yeah.
Ronin. With an
Yep,
N.
Roman.
Alright,
Roman.
obtuseness on purpose, I understand.
I mean, Roman has an
Roman
N.
with an N. Yeah,
Ronin
it does.
doesn't have an M.
In.
Has an N, no M.
The goose turns must continue.
Yeah.
The goose turn must continue. Mama Goose is killing all the escapers. Ice Goose, Medina Goose, you fly around as that woman pretty much is coming out of there and you just meet her at the turn. She's trying to duck under you and just run.
She's gonna get 2 feet to the face, knock her on her back, hopefully, cracking her skull on the ground.
Attack roll.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Oh, that's a dirty 20.
All right.
The net 20, I meant.
Even better is you
It's
just
a clean
kick this
one.
woman you kick this woman in the face and use your 3 goose heads to overpower and take her to the ground, and then just start to peck away and grab head and smash. Also, infant acquired.
No, man. Now I'm gonna fly away with 3.
You have 2. Arik took 1.
Because I had one in my mouth, stole one from the lady running, and then stole one from this lady running.
No, the lady running was this one because you rolled like an 8 and she did better, and that's why she ducked in here. And then you just bashed her faith in and took her baby. So you have 2, and Arik has 1. I mean, you stole all of them, but
I have another beaker. Finding another.
Arik is currently using a hostage.
I have a 3rd beak to carry things.
You wish to find a 3rd one.
Yes.
All right.
Trying to fly with 3 babies, that can't go wrong.
Said the small creature.
Yes.
Is that good?
Perception check to amidst the fire, smoke, and chaos.
Okay. That's gonna be 18.
18. You stop for a moment and use your goose senses to look around. And then you hear something. From one of the nearby buildings, an infant crying. And it's not one of the 2 that you're holding. It's a 3rd. It's another one. Because those 2 that you're holding are definitely crying, but we'll ignore that for now. There's a 3rd one.
Going for it.
How would you like to break into this building?
Breaking building. Where are they exactly?
You don't know. There's a screaming infant inside of this box of rest.
Any windows?
There's windows.
Okay. I'm gonna grab this probably random brick somewhere from a destroyed building.
None of the buildings are really destroyed. Just lit on fire.
There's probably a brick or something laying around somewhere.
I'm gonna find a large rock.
Put it in my other beak, and I'm just gonna slam it into the window.
Alright, smash a window with a rock.
Yes. Rolling for it?
No, it's just a window.
Okay.
Break it open with a rock.
Anybody in there?
Yes. You have an armed man with an axe. A boy that looks like he might be in his younger teenage years with a knife. A mother with a knife. And that infant that is screaming that you want.
I'm gonna wind my head back as far as I can and throw the rock at the boy's skull.
Make an attack roll.
Strength?
Strength. At disadvantage. You're not proficient with any of this. I'm just trying to yeet a rock.
Okay.
I'm still expecting this to hit.
Absolutely. 17.
Let's try out hitting.
What?
Shouldn't be that hard, right? Okay. I get. It's gonna be a 10.
That is the number needed to hit. Roll a d4.
What is Bella.
3.
3, as you just beam the child in the head with a rock. There's a crack. There's just blood coming out of his forehead. They're staggered back as they hit the ground.
Don't worry.
Man letting out a scream. You don't know what English is. You don't know what common is. You only know Sylvan. Those are just noises to you.
Just gonna hiss back. And use the
And
other
takes
hold at the babies.
take 7 damage as this man axes you in the chest.
Wait. Did you roll above 16?
I did actually.
Ah!
As it axes you in the chest, it just hits into your ice armor. It just cracks through. As it cracks through the pale ice over your white body, as a bit of red just starts seeping underneath it, dripping out.
I get a reaction attack, right?
No, that's if he tries to leave the area. He ran into the area to hit you with an axe. We'll come back to this in a minute, though. Knife fight, sword fight, honor of the goose.
Does he have disadvantage when holding 2 babies?
No. If he did, too bad. I already rolled. We're going on to
Does
Matt.
he have disadvantage? Because I'm holding 2 babies.
That'd be fucked up. He's killing a baby.
We just appreciate the phrases that come out of D&D.
I'm using my shield now.
Matt Goose. Night Goose.
Yes. I'm
One
on the
who-
prowl and on the hunt.
Goose that lurks in the night.
Goose that lurks in the night. Yes, I accept this. I'm on the prowl.
You're on the
I'm
prowl.
looking for anything.
Perception.
If
mean,
I
there's-
have more weapons, if I could find better weapons, that'd be amazing. If I find people in need, well, I'm sorry to say it will not arrive.
I mean, there's people that have run about before, but if you're trying to stay in the shadows and find out, like, more single targets.
I'm picking and choosing my targets. I have to hunt well because somebody took my fucking leg. I'm gonna just shout that at it every time now. Perception check?
Yes.
Well, I'm glad for that advantage, because it turned a nat 1 into a 20. I am not happy. Why can I roll this good as a goose, but I stay stunned an entire goddamn session as an actual player character?
Twice.
21.
Well, one of the times was fear, but that might as well be stunned for that case.
I was removed from the session effectively because I couldn't roll above a 10.
But hey! Oh yes. You can sense it. There are people nearby. And you stop. You sniff around. You put one head low to the ground. And then you turn that head slowly. As there was someone trying to hide under one of the buildings. That was raised up forward.
Well, they did not hide well enough. They are alone, and that makes an ideal target for ambush.
As they start to scoot backwards.
Just menacingly walk forward.
You're say they have to crawl. You're small enough to walk under here.
I'm assuming they have the 10 AC.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
they
they're
can.
prone. They're also
Yeah.
prone.
Oh, they're prone. Let's just see, by the way, just in case. Yeah, there's no crits.
I'm going to assume in your 3 attacks that you're going to kill this man, considering you have a +2 modifier and you hit 3 times.
I have a 1d8 plus 2, a 1d6 plus 2, and a 1d4 plus 2.
So, how do you want to take care of this man that was hiding under a building?
See, I don't think I'm built as vicious as any of these people are. I'm not having the deep-seated issues that are coming to the surface now by releasing a violence. I just pictured coming through in quickly with just taking them out and then going back to the shadows.
Which weapon?
Assassin.
Huh? Which weapon?
Which
Probably
weapon?
the longsword is the go-to one.
Just stab the man in the face.
Just like
Stab the man.
arcing slash, just
Arcing slash under a building, and then you just kind of heads down, waddled out from a different side. Pool of blood kind of just leaks out one side of the building.
there is no god to help them here. And then
Apparently
I
not.
look back to the shadows.
Stealth again.
Stealth again. Where's my stealth die? I wish I could have kept that one if I didn't just fucking drop it by accident instead of roll. That was okay. That's a 17 total. That's better than most villagers are gonna see, I think.
Dylan, that place is on fire.
The place is on fire. Do most of the people look dead?
You kind of killed most of them, or they jumped out of a couple windows.
Okay. Fly up in the air. Do a quick look around and see if I can't find any more infants.
I'm assuming you mean outside of the church.
Outside of the church, yes.
Perception.
Don't we get advantage on this?
You do.
There might be a baby in the church.
Good, because it went from being... It rolled and like teetered on a 20 there for a second, then turned to 2. That was
Turned
the
to 2.
first one. I got to 15 on the second roll. We have advantage,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Also, perception, we have like +2. That's 17.
Yeah.
Still. That fucking... It's flirted with being a 20 there for a second, and then it rolled over to 2. So I'm glad we got the advantage, but that's hilarious.
You hear an infant crying. There's a broken window over there already.
I must get it. I must have
You
it.
just did it. As you fly into the room, Ice Goose, the man with the axe. I like that I give you extra AC. So of course this guy just rolls 20s to ignore it.
Okay, you hit me with a nat 20.
Yes.
Dickhead.
You doing okay, man?
Yeah, it's only 6 damage, right?
No.
How much was it?
Well,
12?
he's got an axe. No, this is 14 for this one.
So it was, how much for the first one?
I don't know. I don't remember. You're supposed to keep track of your health.
It's like
Been a
6.
Yeah, so I got 6. No.
That's
no,
20 damage, dude.
No, this attack now. Like, this is the second attack.
Oh, I didn't know you attacked again. Okay.
That's what I just said for now.
20, I got 10. 12,
As
32. Yeah.
Oh, damn.
12.
as he sinks another as he sinks another axe just into the top of your wing there through the ice. What does the goose do?
I'm gonna bite his fucking throat.
Attack his throat.
Yes. Goose fears no man. Nothing's mightier than the goose. $18.
18. Damage.
Huh?
Meh.
Damn village. Village?
Dylan Goose.
Yes.
Medina Goose is fighting someone, a large man with an axe who's hacking into him.
Oh wait, that was wrong.
But in the corner of the room.
That's 8 damage.
I wish to obliterate this man's neck.
Okay, you're gonna join him in the attack?
I'm
I
gonna
did 8
obliterate
damage.
his freaking neck, yes.
Alright, roll to attack with Medina there.
Death to the man. Alright. 16? Yeah, it's 16. Wait,
Yeah.
It's
Not,
Yeah.
So, after Medina's first attack there, The man is left bloodied, and then another goose comes in as the two of you now swarming at this man. He only has one axe. He's only one man. There's only so much he can do. You are two geese with 6 heads.
Goodbye.
So the two of you just swarm this man to the ground, pecking in a flurry. You are now left with a woman and a baby in the room.
Where's the other child?
He's unconscious on the ground because you hit him in the head with a rock.
I'm picking up the axe in my mouth. Where's the woman to the child?
Alright, don't you have 2 children and a child in each head, and then your third is now occupied by an axe?
You'll see why.
Right?
How far away is the wife from her son?
Only a few feet.
I'm gonna ask the question.
Alright, you're gonna axe an unconscious body a question. Where are you axing it?
Let's make it roll.
What dice? Okay. Alright, Goose comes over there and decapitates the child in front of her mother. In front of her son.
Gonna roll it towards her.
Kick.
I just use the axe as like a
Golf club.
drop the axe and then hiss. And look at the door.
Can I assist him in his intimidation efforts?
Sure, what would you like to do?
I would like to go and...
That man's starting to grow mushrooms now.
I said I obliterated this guy's neck, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I then wish to go and kick his head at her as well.
Alright, just finish getting it tore off. Kick it at him. There's a mushroom growing out of the eye. Your magic mushrooms work very quick. So,
What does she do?
incomprehensible screaming in a language you don't understand, throws a knife at one of you. Misses. Bounces off the ice armor.
I gave her a chance to run.
The problem with that is there's another goose in the way.
Oh well.
She could have sacrificed his child.
Going to place the babies down and maul her to death.
And I shall stand guard over the children until he finishes with that.
Just for the sake of
No,
action
sneaky,
economy and everyone getting to do things, let's check in with Max and possibly Arik. Maybe even Matt.
You two are next.
Okay.
I stand guard over the babies, and so no sneaky halflings will go and come in and steal our wonderful treasures.
Why is your
And
coat
they're not
half?
big enough babies.
You're not
What'd
sure
you
what halflings are exactly, but they are tasty. What, Medina? 3 babies
Yeah.
acquired?
After
You have acquired a full inventory of babies.
that objective complete. Mouth.
Are you just leaving?
Yep.
Alright.
I see that he is injured and decide I'll follow along with them and try and make sure no one sneaky shoots him out of the air with an arrow or something.
Alright. Those two are leaving. Mama Bird. Arik Bird. Goosing around.
Goosing around town.
Maximum Goose. What are you doing? You've killed pretty much everyone that's actually been trying to escape. You have iron. Yes, you have pretty much like iron hard feathers that you can shoot out of people. So you've been able to feather people at ranges. There has been no escape options. You can see Medina Goose and Dylan Goose flying away with a good clutch of babies.
Good. Good.
A lot of this town has caught fire now, including one of the grass fields over by it. Arik, Goose, no one seems to be going for your trap of leaving a baby on the ground.
That's fine.
How many people are left in this village?
Questionable. If there's anyone left, they're probably inside of a building hiding.
Which is on fire.
Which, yeah, most of those are starting to be on fire.
How many babies do we have? Do we know? Do I know?
You can see one of them clutching away with 3. That's about all you know.
Do I see any babies?
All you see around you are dead men.
Dead men.
And
And
she
fire.
listen with her goose ears.
She can.
Do I hear any bibis?
Perception advantage. Arik, Goose, what would you like to do in the fields you have burned?
Well, giving an overview, there's no actual resistance. Mommy's just fine. There's a fucking grass fire on the way, and the other buildings are already on fire. I'm calling this job done, grabbing the baby out in the field and leaving before I end up going rogue or something.
19.
19.
Yes.
You stop for a moment and you go back to one of the carriages. There's an infant that's been buried under some of the bodies of your carnage. Might be alive, might not. But it's a body. I say, but it's an infant to take.
I'm going to take it.
Alright.
She is going to go into the middle of the town, and she is going to give a giant honk in order to tell everyone to go home.
A
We are
good day's
done.
work is done.
What did you say, Mid?
Everyone go home.
No, not you, him.
A good day's work.
Okay, yeah.
I'll say. Matt, as the only goose to yet retreat, looking through buildings for stragglers. You hear the honk of return. The honk of retreat. Home.
Any children on the way that I could grab, specifically infants. I was supposed to get some. I did not expect to retreat so soon.
Not that you see. There's some children that have been killed for the most part.
Well, I have to make it a ways through there, and I don't want to just take straight up. I'm gonna get shot. I'm gonna give it a couple minutes of searching, just a couple moments. Nothing much.
One-
Just a quick search through as I'm on my way towards a good exit point to see if I find anything.
One thing you notice. You see your own reflection in the steel of your sword.
Is there not a follow? I felt like there's a follow-up coming.
No, that's for you to decide. You just kept
Must
you
I
just
go
kept
rogue?
thinking to yourself.
Do I go rogue? I am treated horribly. They took my leg. I could make a name for myself. I could become more powerful and come back.
You
But
see
should
the
I
corpse.
go-
You see the corpse of that one guy that you killed earlier. He never finished getting his helmet on. It's just there next to his head.
I have the strength to wear plate mail. I just have to get it for a goose body.
Well, you don't know how long that's gonna last.
I don't know, but I could find out.
This is true.
Yeah, but if you leave, you can never come back.
I will come back one day. Be greater.
I don't know. It's like an hour's flight away from where it's at now. Back to the nest, on the other hand. Stealth Goose, what do you do?
I think Stealth Goose goes rogue. He never fit in with his brothers. His mother tore his leg off cruelly.
Sad honk.
I think Stealth Goose goes stealth and rogue.
Everyone else had already left. They did not
He will
really
learn the
count.
way. He will learn the way of the fighter. And come
A stealth
back greater.
goose. Stealth Goose goes off to the east, off into the unburned grass fields. He may lay low and travel further away. Sword, axe, multiple knives in hand, and a shield.
No regrets.
The four of you return. The four of you return in the afternoon, successfully having burnt down a village, killed almost everyone there, eaten a lot of them, and you have 5 infants.
Does the one with 3 get the reward?
Oh, there are many rewards to be had. But throughout the courses of time, nearby villages, legends spread of honks in the night. What happened to one of the villages that burned? Rumors. And somewhere in the east, there's a rumor about a duck with, say, a 3-headed goose with arms that fights as a warrior. As for the other goose, over the next few months, several rituals take place to add to the family, as 4 more goose are added. Sadly, 1 infant. I say sadly as if this is a fate. Being turned into a goose is a good one, but sadly from the goose perspective. One of the infants was dead and cannot be turned into a new family member. But Mama Goose, you have acquired 4 little brothers and sisters now, as well.
The one that's still turned into a sleeping bag with Jason.
I shall try with that escapee. We'll make our backstories as characters and come back to that nest someday.
All right. Well, I was curious how dark you guys would get, and I was not disappointed.
I don't think I got that dark.
No, you and Arik kept to the normal D&D levels.
You're disowned.
Yeah, fuck you. I quit this family.
It wasn't a dark, it was just a smidge.
Listen, you work for a hag. Of course you're going to be evil. Of course you're going to do brutal things. Hags are evil. But what'd you guys think? I hope you had a honking good time.
I wasn't prepared for knuckle dragger arms.
This is fun. This is fun, man.
It was fun. I just wasn't prepared for that.
Well, unless you want to collect afterthoughts, Arik. That's all I got.
Alright.
He's gonna come back and start campaign.
Sweet and glorious.
Unless you just want to leave the stream open and people just honk at each other for a while.
Alright.
Right. Let's get out of here.